What's going on, everyone? Today we are shooting a cookie commercial for Artlist Max, but the catch is we only have 5 hours to get it done. So what are we waiting for? Let's hop right in. So we're actually going to be starting this commercial with the final reveal shot. Throughout this commercial, we're going to be destroying a lot of these cookies. We just want to try knocking out this final reveal shot before we start messing with all the other cookies while they still look nice and presentable. So we have the camera set up on a probe lens, and we're also using the slider manually instead of automatic, so I can kind of start off quicker and slow down. So I bought some painting tarp, and that's because, well, these explosion shots get a little messy. So we're gonna have Danny sit right here holding the chocolate chunks and the cocoa powder in a Ziploc bag, and then just kind of fling it up into the air. I'm gonna capture it, and we're gonna lay this down so we don't completely ruin this studio. Explosion shot, take one. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Take 5. This, I have a good feeling about this one. Nice, one more time. Go. Okay, so we have 2 of the explosion shots knocked out of the way, the hardest ones. I think they're gonna be the hardest ones. Now it's time to get confetti and cinnamon. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's gonna look so good though. Go. Ah, too high. They had potential.
Did it? I think it went too high.
Oh yeah. It's not real. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's move on. So for this next shot, we got a drill that I just got last night at a home improvement store. So right now, I'm just going to put the skewer into every single cookie and just get the same shot of every single cookie spinning around. See how that looks? Now, before we forget and move on, we must not forget to get just a clean slate for our background. That way we have something to mask the video into to get rid of the skewer. Okay, so we're gonna need all 3 of us for this shot. We're all gonna be in charge of our own individual lines. And basically we're gonna take a photo, move all the cookies just ever so slightly, take another photo, and so on until all of the cookies are completely out of the frame. And the most important thing is that we're all moving at the same rate. And even more importantly is that we're all moving the cookies in a straight line, which is really, really hard to pull off. And now that I think about it, we probably should have thought of a different shot. So for this next shot, we're just gonna have Danny roll one of the cookies past the camera. 3, 2, 1, go. I felt that one, that was a good one. So for this next shot, we're gonna be doing a top-down sprinkle pour shot. We're just focusing on the confetti cookie for this one. So we're just using the leftover sprinkles that we have, and I'm just gonna drop them following the camera. Simple as that. Now we're getting ready to do some macro shots. So we just have our chocolate chip cookie propped up with a few skewers and a nice up close chocolate pouring over the cookie shot. So we hung this chocolate chip cookie upside down with a skewer. Now we're gonna pour the syrup all over it from the top. And the idea behind this shot is to film it upside down and then flip it back over in post. That way we can play the video in reverse and it will look like the cookie standing straight up and that the chocolate is revealing the cookie. This is by far like one of my new favorite shots to get. Well, we have made it to the final and last shot. Probably the messiest. We're gonna dump some milk into our clear tray and drop some cookies in the milk and get some nice splash scenes. This is going to be so gross. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! First shot! Well guys, that is a wrap on set. We ended up finishing this shoot with a bang, or I guess you could say we finished it with a splash, since, you know, the milk shot was the last shot. We did it in one take. It was like a big, all right. So now let's go ahead and head on over to the computer and start editing this commercial, and I'll show you guys exactly how I use Artlist Max to bring this commercial to life. I'll see you there. Now, before I show you guys all the different assets that I used from Artlist Max and how I used them to amp up this commercial, I wanted to walk through a few things that I did to the clips themselves to make them a little bit better. So obviously for these skewer shots, we just did a mask around the cookie and then we had our base layer underneath it. So if we get rid of that, you can clearly see our mask. And if we get rid of our mask, you'll be able to see the skewer on the drill and the cookie spinning around just like that. Next thing I want to point out is these explosion shots. None of them really filled up the entire screen. So to make those shots feel a lot more full, I just added a mirror effect to help fill in the other half of the frame. This next shot is very similar to the first. We just masked out the cookie and then we duplicated it 3 times. And of course, we just reversed this melted chocolate pouring shot and flipped it upside down. That way it plays in reverse and reveals the cookie. So let's go ahead and watch the final commercial without any sound effects, music, text templates, or stock footage. So as you can see, it's a pretty good commercial. The shots all look great, but it's definitely missing a lot and it has the potential of being so much better. So the first thing I want to do is just add a ton of sound effects in this commercial. We want to add camera whooshes to help transition some of the shots. I want to add a splash sound effect whenever the cookie is dropped into the milk. And of course, we're going to need a few sound effects for our explosion shots. Something even more important than sound effects is music. And luckily, Artlist Max, at least in my opinion, is the best spot to find music for commercials. And if you don't believe me, just spend a little bit of time on Artlist and you'll notice that a few of my latest commercials are all using music from Artlist. The song I found for this commercial is called Strawberry by Sunny Fruit. I think that this guy might be Sunny Fruit. Now this next step is by far my favorite. I don't know what it is about text overlays, but they just make commercials look and feel so much better. The problem is sometimes text overlays can be very tricky to pull off. But now luckily everything is inside of Artlist Max, all under one roof. We can get our music, sound effects, footage, templates, and plugins all in one place. We can simply just click on templates and go through a ton of typography and titles to help us find the perfect one that fits the vibe of our project. So I found some really cool typography templates. This is what it looks like inside of the editing software whenever you download it straight from Artlist Max, and they're already ready to go. All you have to do is click on them and change the text to whatever you want. I also feel like a few of these shots could just use a little something extra, so I'm going back into Artlist, hopping out of templates and straight into footage where we have a countless amount of stock footage to scroll through, and right off the bat, this one looks perfect. It's actually insane how much better these takes look with just a particle overlay. It's honestly the little details that really add up that can really just make the difference between an amateur and a professional. Now that we've added our text overlays and our stock footage, let's go ahead and take one final look at this commercial and see how it turned out. Well, there you have it. That's the final commercial. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it turned out very well, especially for only having 5 hours to film, which again is just crazy because it usually takes us upwards of 20 plus hours to film a commercial. I will say though, this commercial would not have been possible to pull off without using any of the assets that we got from Artlist Max, which is actually kind of a relieving feeling as a creator. It's just so nice having that peace of mind and knowing that I have high quality assets to fall back on all in one place at Artlist Max. So if you guys want to check out Artlist Max for yourself, there'll be a link in the description box below where you can get 2 extra months to any annual plan, which in my opinion, I think you're gonna love it. I would just go with an annual plan and get those 2 extra months. With that being said, that's pretty much it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you Artlist so much for sponsoring this video and giving us the opportunity to create this Kyle's cooking commercial. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.